Now we have cut a section through our casework. We can begin adding details using detail line and detail components to look casework more realistic. Starting to add blocks, if you see here, I have started adding some blocks in the detail, and I will show you how to import that using Revit components. So to insert this blocking, what we need to do, we will work to all detail elements in Annotate tab. So to import the blocks, go in Components, Detail Components, and go in Load Family. And I will just show you, if you are in English Imperial Library, you will find the detail items, and then find wood and plastic, division 06, wood and plastic, click on it. And then you will find the wood framing. And you have multiple options of rough cut lumber, top, side, section, and nominal cut lumber, top, side, and section. We will use nominal cut lumber section because we are cutting through the casework section. We will open, and if you see here, you have multiple different sizes. But what we can do, we can just select from 1 up until like more or 2 by 4 or 2 by 5. Let's select 1, and you can just click on a shift and all the way go to till what you want to save it. I just go till 2 by 4 and I will say okay. Now if you see here in the properties panel, you can see nominal cut lumber. You have multiple sections that we have added in here, and I have used 1 by 4 to add framings around in here. So if you see, I have added this 2 in here and 1 in here and bottom in here, and then I will add similarly. So you can just add that much that you can see in here. And now if you want to add this way, you can just use your space bar to just turn the way you want it. I will just place that in there. And now if you see here, you can just add 1 by 4. Now as we have placed the lumber here, we will use a detail line, a simple thin line to connect that lumber in elevation. So it will see you will have a nice framing in there. If you remember the casework detail you have done in drafting class, you can relate to that, how you will have to cut a detailed casework and show the lumber cut blocks in drafting. Now what I will do, I will just change this thin lines to wide lines and add another line in here. And again, go back to thin line and just use the cross section going through line there. You have the base in here. If you see here, I have this will be my toe kick. Okay. And if you notice here, I have added the details of a sink. So when you see in this elevation in here, I am looking towards the sink. The sink, I've not cut the sink, but I can able to see the sink in the elevation here. So when you have a sink, you will have a plumbing below that, right? So approximately when you do the plumbing, usually your plumbing pipes will be 1.5 inches wide. So what I did, if you see here, this is my original sink that we have installed in there. Then what I did, I just draw a simple box using a detail line. So I use a rectangle like that, and I just draw over it. Or you can just draw 1.5 quarter by 3.5 and put in the center. And then I draw another box. And if you see the dimension, it is half and 5. You can just work on that way. I just draw that box. I use this way a radius. You see here, start and end radius arc. I use as an offset is 1.5 inches, and I did offset to work on that way. And then if you see here, I just draw 2 lines, and how it was, let me just show you. When I just complete that, how it was when I drew. And then if you go again and annotate detail line, you get this option in here, that a fillet arc. Okay, so what it does, if you have a corner, like if you see the video that Ravi shows you, it has a corner that you can just change that to curve. So what I will do, I will select the fillet arc, click this, and then gently change that to angle. Click this, click that, and gently change that to angle. Make sure they are nice and connected. If not, make sure you have nice detail. It will show a simple plumbing for your sink, and it will look more realistic. Okay, now if you see in this area where you have the countertop in here, so when you see here, I have used a detail line to make that box, because that's my plastic laminated continuous box that you can see. They have just make it. Then I have add some plywood or a gypsum board, whatever you can use it for, to support that one in here. So I will just fill that part in there. So for this, again, we will be always in annotate when we are doing the detail. So let's go in region, fill region. Make sure you save the project. I will select the rectangle. So I will have a close boundary, and I will change something wood hatch. Let's go to the wood hatch. Maybe I will just see wood finish cross hatch. Okay, apply. Okay, does that change that one in there? Let's see. Yes. So now you see you have that hatch there. That's just a support in there. You have all the details in here, all the cut lumber there. Now, when you finish this detail, you see here you have a door in here and a, a drawer, packed drawer, where you have a sink. So I will just see the dimensions there using dimension. I will just see how much it is. It shows 5.5. So I will add a small block to put in there so it can support that drawer packing there. And then for the door, we will add a handle there. Okay. So let's use annotate detail line, and I will sign. I will see where it's 5.5. So that's the 5.5 where you have the closed backing. So what I will do, I will just, and then the 3/4, and maybe we'll just fill region with the same wood. I will say okay, and I will add a blocking of 1/3 at this space. So component, detail component, instead of 1/4, I will change to 1/3, and I'll just place it in here. So it will go all the way to the continuation. Escape. Okay. And then what I will do, I will just fill that door as well, just to fill region. I will use a rectangle. And I will do this, the same pattern for toe kick as well. Fill region. Just use the rectangle. It's easy. I have all these details. Now, if you see here, you have enough space below. If you want to add a shelf, like a floating shelf or adjustable shelf, you can add, or if you want to just do that, you can keep it that way. If you want to add adjustable shelving, how you can add, it's up to you. If you want to add, you can add. So what I will do, I will just draw it. You can just remove if you want to. Let's see, 1 inch. Yes. I'm just showing you how you can use the casework. You can just delete that if you don't want. And now if you see here, you have the handle in here. So we will add that handle. So we just want to make sure that we are doing what we see in the elevation here in a detail section. So let me see how tall the handle is. We will just go back in here and check from the top, 6 1/4, and from here to here, 4 7/8. So let's go back to annotate detail line. I'll be in keep detail line, and I will select draw a line somewhere, thin line. How much it was? 6 1/4. So I'll just use offset. It was 6 1/4. So I will just draw that offset, and I'll just delete this line. Okay. And then let me just check that again, how it was. 4 7/8. So I'll just keep that. I'll go back again. I'll just select this, go back to the offset, and 4 7/8. Not on this side, maybe this side. So I'll just complete that. Make sure you are in annotate. I'll just complete that. Maybe I'll just use a fillet arch, just a small. Let's do fillet here first, and then annotate detail line. We'll see if we can just curve it up just a small. And then you can just give an offset. Now, once you finish this, let's give an offset to 1/4. You will have a nice handle. You can add a hatch for your laminated wood, laminated countertop as well, with a detailed different hatch. And then we can finish your. Now let's add the dimensions. And we have added dimensions multiple times, so you know how to add a dimension. Just click on align, click on this, show you select the right. Then if you see here they're overlapping, you can just move your dimensions. When you click on that, when you get this blue tag, you can just move that on this side, and you can just align that together. And then you can keep adding dimension, annotate, align. Maybe you just change this to here. You will add dimension at the bottom here as well. But once you do the overall, you can just give full length. And here. Just make sure you select the right line. You can now add the details or the notes to your detail. And you can use text. You can select 2 segments. You can change as you want. So I will just add that arrow, and I will just say stainless steel, capitals, hardware. And then you can just change that text. You can move along. You can just use copy. You can just select copy and click on. Make sure the constraint is on. And then you can just change details. So I will just say this is toe kick. You can just click on this and say this is adjustable shelf. This adjustable shelf is not a right time to add, but if you have any casework and if you want to add a shelf, how you can add, that's why I'm just adding it. So you can just say adjustable. This I can say toe kick. You can rename the detail. We have not renamed that detail yet. Now, as you see here, we have mostly finished the details. I just want to add a line, a floor line in here. So we will go back in annotate, detail line, and just instead of thin, you will select wide line. And so you have a nice cut section of the line there. And then you will rename this as a casework detail. Detail. And then you will use the casework and elevation put on your sheet, put on the sheet and submitted for the assignment. Thank you.